Hello everyone and welcome back to Brotato. I am Duke Silver and today we are going to be playing the Entrepreneur class for our Danger 5 run. So we have played the Entrepreneur class before. It was one of my earlier Danger runs. I believe I've cleared Danger 0 with it, although I'm not 100% certain on that. But yeah, it was one of the earlier ones. So the character starts with negative 25% items price. So shops are obviously cheaper. Harvesting modifications are increased by 50%, so that's a thing that gives you econ, kind of increases the amount of experience and the materials you get at the end of a wave, so that's very nice. You gain 25% more materials from recycling items, so a lot of really good econ abilities here, but minus 100% of your materials at the start of waves, which means you have to spend all your gold every single wave, which is honestly, I don't think that ends up being too much of a drawback, because I spend most of my materials anyways, but damage modifications are reduced by 50%, which can be a little bit awkward because it takes a lot more to stack up damage and really get a build going. But yeah. So for this run, we're of course going to be selecting a random weapon, as well as we're going to be doing Danger 5. And here we go. And the random weapon we got was a fist, which is an unarmed strike. It does a reasonable amount of damage early. The brawler class used exclusively fist weapons in general, and it's pretty strong. We're probably going to be building away from it as soon as possible, though, as in general, I don't think that's necessarily where I want to be. Although there's another unarmed ability in the shop here, which we are going to pick up. The fact that it's also a support is another reason we're picking it up. We pick up another fist there, so. We'll build into it for now for what we have, but again, just like with the Ranger, it's pretty straightforward. So I think we're just gonna kind of stay as open as possible, and then kind of build into what shows up. But yeah, the support set bonus is extra harvesting, and we get bonuses from harvesting, and then being able to just find more materials is gonna be very good for us. There's a couple of hens that we lock in the shop, so we're actually going to get a decent amount of harvesting here with our support set. I think we're definitely going to be trying to move in towards the sort of elemental side off of these tasers, though. As again, I'm not like a huge fan of the unarmed build. Brawler is fine, but I don't know. I'd rather I guess do other things if given the choice. I think this was before that I had unlocked the boom fist, though. So I mean, the boom fist does add a little more depth, a little more fun to the unarmed build, though. There's definitely like an unarmed elemental build you can go with. There's I forget what the name of it is, but it's just an unarmed basically like fire punch kind of thing, which is kind of fun. As you can see, we're not doing a ton of damage. Like, these support weapons do not do great damage. I mean, the unarmed or the palm strike does nothing. It's got decent knockback, but I'm pretty sure it only does 1 damage. So you can't really rely on that to be taking out enemies. I'm looking at that lightning shiv because it's another elemental, and I think we're gonna pick it up here. So now we've got the double taser and a shiv, so 3 elemental weapons, which is going to increase our elemental damage overall. And I'm a big fan of the lightning shiv. I think it's a lot of fun. Every time the lightning shiv hits an enemy, it sends out a lightning bolt that bounces between enemies, and when you can get a bunch of them all together, then just having a bunch of lightning bolts bouncing around the map is just a lot of fun to me. Take a little attack speed there. We'll take a snake, which is gonna, like, we don't have the scared sausage yet, but it's gonna spread burning to 1 additional enemy every time you set something on fire, which hopefully we'll be able to do relatively soon. If we take this wand, which we decide against, but wand does set things on fire. Speaking of setting things on fire, there's an excellent elemental weapon, which I think we're going to start building into, which is a flamethrower. which doesn't do a ton of damage on initial hit. It's very good with knockback because it's got a super high rate of fire, but it does set things on fire when it hits enemies. And yeah, we definitely need some form of damage here, and the flamethrower is definitely going to help us out. I'm a big fan of the flamethrower just in general. I just think it's a pretty fun weapon to use. I think it's relatively hard to get like really good damage scaling on it, although that might just be my experience with the flamethrower so far. I'm gonna take a medical turret just as a kind of passive form of HP regen, even without any engineering. I've said this before, but I think it's just a solid thing to pick up, especially when it's offered for free. Take a little elemental damage there with the toxic sludge. And we'll take the bee, which is going to give us harvesting. It's our second copy now. We got to use up all our gold, or all our materials, and we'll lock another bee for some more harvesting. Getting good harvesting early, I think is one of the keys to success with the Entrepeneur. Again, the shops are cheaper, and like the fact that we get so much more materials in general, I think like you really want to lean into that and leverage it to get your build going. You're able to buy a lot more things than normal, and you need to. So with 50% less damage. Although like I think building into a tanky build with the Entrepeneur is probably the way to go, just because I mean, again, your damage modifications are reduced by 50%, so but your like defensive modifications are not. So again, I think that's just kind of the way to go, and we're gonna get rid of our level 3 unarmed weapon there for another taser. We're just gonna increase our elemental damage as much as possible and lean into that now. All right, again, flamethrower has a great rate of fire. We're doing decent damage. We're not like, it's not like amazing. We're still having to dodge these charging enemies. Not being able to take them out before they get to us means our damage is maybe a little bit low. But I mean, with negative 50% modifiers, like there's nothing really we can do about that. We gotta stack it up. We gotta stack up a lot of damage before we start seeing any like real really crazy numbers. But one thing that works with this elemental build, again, like I said, building Entrepeneur into a tank, I think is a lot safer, and you're gonna have more success with it. The fact that we have a way to set things on fire, and then if we can just build tank and basically survive while the fire, the burning damage does its thing, I think is a reasonable way to play. Anyways, what I'm trying to say. And even with like pretty low damage, flamethrower is just excellent on this stage with all the tons and tons of small enemies. Yeah, even though we don't have like a ton of stopping power, it's still enough to take out the small enemies and build up a bunch of materials for us to get in the center here. And yeah, we do need to worry about HP a little bit, but right now we're killing so many things that we're able to just sustain ourselves on consumables. But that won't be the case forever. Take some extra luck there. I think luck is very, very good and very worth investing in on this character. Like, since we're getting so many materials, being able to find rare items is very, very valuable, as we're able to buy more of them. Considering the explosive turret here, but we don't have any engineering. But I do go for it anyways, just because it's a level 4 item, and I think it's early enough that it's actually going to do decent damage. And I think spending the materials on that, I keep wanting to call it gold, but yeah, spending the materials on it, I think is worth it. It's probably more worth it than taking another roll and probably not being able to buy anything anyways. So that's kind of my reasoning for taking it there, even though it doesn't really work with our build per se. Yeah, you can tell our damage still a little bit low. Like, it might be time to just focus on taking tank items and letting fire do its work. Take some more luck there. We take some more attack speed, which it might be a mistake. It might be worth just taking. Might have been worth just taking armor there. We get a second scared sausage now, which is nice. I'm pretty sure our turret does apply burning. All right, we get another taser. We got 2 level 3 tasers now, which is nice. And we find another taser. We'll take all the tasers we can get at this point. Speaking of, there's another one, and there's also a triangle of power. But we're gonna leave the triangle of power. As we are, I mean, we are getting hit like a few times at least. Like, we don't quite have the stopping power to completely avoid getting hit with the triangle of power, and I don't think the percentage damage is gonna add up enough to for us to kind of get over that threshold. We are I was gonna say we're managing not to get hit in this wave, but immediately that is not true. Again, these consumables fortunately are enough to sustain us. The extra luck we've taken does make more consumables drop out of enemies. So the luck is kind of working as our sustain. I mean, we've got 4 HP regen, which is not like, it's not a lot, but it's not nothing either. We'll take a second lucky cat there, and that's gonna give us 30 luck. So we got a ton of luck happening now, which is very nice. We should start seeing a lot more high rarity items, and we're gonna see a lot more like consumable drops here. Hopefully also some more crate drops. Yeah, stopping power, not great, not at the point where we probably want it to be able to like take down bosses or elites or whatever. But our sustain is reasonable thanks to our luck. All right, and there's a candle which we'll take. That's going to give us some elemental damage as well as some HP regen. Briefly considering, or I guess we are going to take this rocket launcher. It is a heavy weapon, which is going to work with our flamethrowers and give us a little bit of extra percentage damage. And I mean, we've got very high attack speed, which I don't think affects the flamethrowers all that much. But we're immediately gonna recycle that rocket launcher and just get a third flamethrower, which, I mean, it's still gonna have the same effect as far as set bonuses go, but our flamethrower is just gonna be a little more effective in general than a rocket launcher. And we didn't want to get rid of one of our tasers. Like, the tasers kind of work in conjunction. Like, you don't want to be focusing completely on tasers. They're fine support weapons. I mean, they're literally supports because they slow enemies, and the fact that they slow things down and allow flamethrowers to kind of do their work on them, make them a decent complement to flamethrowers though. All right, we take a bunch of damage there, but fortunately we managed to survive long enough to get through that wave. All right, and this is an item I've talked about before, SD's couch. Like, our speed is already not great. It's in the negative. It's gonna give us -15 speed, and but we're gonna get 2 HP regeneration for every -1 speed that we have. So at -16 speed, we're going to be getting, we're up to 42 HP regeneration, so that's massive. And like, I think SD's couch is maybe one of the best tank items in the game. I've been very, very impressed with how good it is. Even if you're not able to get out of the way of attacks, but like, you regen so fast that in general, like, you're not like, you don't take as much damage as you regen, I've found anyhow. And again, we just want to survive now and let kind of let the fire that we're producing from the flamethrowers kind of do their work and take enemies down. Like, we don't get that instant enemy destruction, but yeah, the fire damage is doing well. And we took a statue there, which reduces our speed even further, which gives us a ton more regen. Now we're up to around 60, which is just a ton. So, all right, and there's a boss here. We definitely do not have the damage to take the boss out. As you can see, its health is barely moving, but we do have such a high rate of fire, and the tasers are slowing it down by a ton, so it's kind of moving at a crawl, which makes it very, very manageable. And that's one way to kind of get around these elites as well, is just really slow them down and deal with all the other enemies. And also, if you'll see, watch my health bar, we're taking hits constantly, but the rate of our regeneration is so fast. We're just it's just constantly moving up super fast. All right, there's another flamethrower. If I was able to combine one of these tasers, I would have taken it as a fourth weapon, but or fourth flamethrower. But instead, we're just going to take it and combine it. So we've got a level 4 flamethrower now and 2 level 3s. I think we're going to take another schmoop here, which is going to increase our health and regeneration. Again, I think we're leaning into full tank now, and there's a med kit which we are going to lock. We're not going to be able to buy it this turn, but it's going to add a bunch more regeneration. We're going to lose some luck, but we've already kind of used up. We're getting close to the end now, so we don't really need luck anymore. Also, the luck that was providing all those consumable drops is definitely not something we need anymore. We have the regen to mitigate any damage we're taking. Yeah, damage. Of course, I mean our damage is has fallen off, as you can see. These big enemies are definitely getting through, but our regen again just always going up super fast. Our health bar does not have a gap in it for very long. Definitely don't want to lose armor there, so we're not taking that. There's a couple tasers. We combined a couple tasers. We got 2 level 4 tasers now and a level 2 now. And there's another flamethrower, which I think we're just gonna get another level 4 flamethrower, which is gonna be great. And we also get the wolf helmet, which gives us a bunch of elemental damage and luck. All right, we've got another elite wave here. And again, the taser is just doing great work against the bosses here, just slowing it down to an absolute crawl, allowing us to kind of also deal with the enemy horde as well, and just manage the elite as best we can. Take a few hits there, but regen gets us back to full immediately. We're moving at a crawl as well, but it just doesn't really matter. We're just so tanky now. We don't even have a ton of armor or anything, or a ton of health. It's just our regen just absolutely keeps up with all the damage we're taking very easily. We've only got 7 armor right now, but we've got 77 HP regen. And there's a campfire, which we're absolutely going to take. That's going to add elemental damage, it's going to add HP regeneration, and it's going to lower speed. All things that we really want. And there's a level 4 taser, which we are gonna pick up and just get rid of the other one. We get an eye surgery, which is going to increase the frequency of the ticks on the fire damage that we're applying. And there's a level 2 flamethrower, but I don't think we can take it, as the only spot left that isn't level 4 is our level 3 flamethrower. So no reason to even lock that. Once we get another level 3 flamethrower, our build is completely finished, weapons wise anyways, and then we can just completely focus on stats. Again, you can see enemies going down faster now that we have the eye surgery. The fire damage that we're applying to them is just going to be dealing damage a lot faster. Not to mention that we've got 5 level 4 weapons here. So we're dealing pretty good damage based on that. Getting decent amounts of materials as well. We get 700 from that wave. Take the attack speed, which I mean, I don't know how good the attack speed is at this point for us, but I mean, it was the highest level upgrade there. All right, we take a bunch of percentage damage with the glass cannon, and we lose 3 armor, which hopefully won't come back to bite us. Our regen is again kind of off the charts. Here, take a little more harvesting, even though it's wave 19, so maybe we shouldn't even be bothering with that. A little crit chance and a little more elemental damage with the bracelet. There's another snake, which we are going to pick up. And there's another campfire, which we are going to lock. Again, campfire basically gives us everything we want. Lowering speed gives us HP regen. It gives HP regen by itself, and it gives elemental damage. All things that very much improve our build here. I think our wave clear has gotten a lot better. Wave 19, usually you're getting swarmed by now, but we have kept the field relatively clear. We're still not taking down the big enemies as fast as I would like to be, but the smaller enemies are definitely disappearing in our plumes of flame here. All right, we leave a bunch of materials on the ground because we weren't quite able to get out to the middle to collect them, but we get another med kit, so our HP regen now over 100. So that's very exciting. And yeah, here we go. We're going into wave 20. We're gonna lock a potato for the next game. Can't use any of the rest of it, so here we go. Wave 20. We definitely don't have the damage to be able to kill the boss, but we can slow them down by a lot thanks to these tasers. And I believe we have an ugly tooth somewhere, which applies a 10% movement speed reduction on whatever you hit. It stacks up to 30%. So I believe that's why we've slowed these bosses down to such a crawl. Yeah, we keep taking big hits, but like instant regen, right back up. If you watch the health bar, you'll see it go down in a chunk and then just right back up immediately. Feels like we got a cheat code on, to be honest. And yeah, 5 seconds left, and again, our regen keeps up with even the final waves damage and danger 5, and yeah, we get the win there. So yeah, again, that's Entrepreneur. You get a ton of materials, you get to buy a lot of stuff. I believe that you should heavily invest in luck with this hero, or with this character, as having all those extra materials to buy legendary items is very, very good. Yeah, and ST's couch, just incredibly powerful. The fact, I mean, again, our move speed was abysmal, but we were benefiting off of it greatly with well over 100 HP regeneration. I'm not sure exactly what that number was, like how much per second we were getting. I believe there's a cap, but I'm certain we hit the cap at that point. But yeah, so if you enjoyed this video or found it educational in any way, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it, and it really helps the channel out. Yeah, and I hope you've been enjoying these Brotato videos. I've been enjoying making them. I've been enjoying playing the game, and yeah, we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna try and get through all the D5 runs or Danger 5 runs with each of the potatoes. Definitely let me know if you have any requests that I can work on next. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow.